Hi everyone, Meteorologist Joel Curtis with your Alaska weather. This is issued on Wednesday, August 28th. So folks, we're in sort of a routine fall pattern. Not a terribly strong one, but we do have to watch for precipitation events with this particular pattern. I've noticed, for example, that here in south central Alaska, our carrots are not growing very well right now. And that's due to a lot of cloudy days, wind and kind of cool conditions, and lots of precipitation. So let's take a look at a tool that we use in the National Weather Service to predict the moisture transport in the atmosphere. And this is called the Integrated Vapor Transport, and we use it to show where a atmospheric river is going to go. And this one is for frame that I'm showing here is for Saturday morning, and it's aimed at the southeastern panhandle. And so the exact target area of this is still a little uncertain, but this is something we're keeping a close eye for, because about the only a real significant weather other than marine winds that are going on right now is the potential for some heavy rain starting Friday night in the panhandle. So that being said, let's take a look at the satellite image going on right now. First of all, we have a developing system south of the Pribilofs, and that's in the eastern Aleutians. And this particular system is winding up, very slow moving. We also have a front that is just now reaching southern southeast Alaska, and that's producing some precipitation. And we also have a cold front that's just about to Utqiagvik now, and that's moving across. So there's what it looks like when in the surface map. And the cold front in the north, it's not a real producer of a lot of precipitation, but there is some freezing precipitation in this particular one. So that's one that we're keeping an eye on. And then there's the front down towards southeast Alaska. That's tailing off. It'll move further east, give a short break, although there's plenty of shower clouds behind that front, as you can see on the satellite image. And then we have our system that's going to deepen just a little bit, 993 millibars north of Dutch Harbor. And that system is all wound up and moving almost due east. So for tonight's weather, that system deepens a little bit to 991 millibars. Still all wound up with an occluded front, a little warm air out in front of it. A weak trough in the eastern Gulf of Alaska to the central Gulf, and that's moving onshore. But notice those areas of light blue and pink color indicating frozen or mixed precipitation, certainly in the Brooks Range, and also some on the Beaufort Sea coast, and then also the higher elevations in south central and southeastern Alaska is showing up as well. So it's, again, this is a signal that we're in more of a fall pattern, and I'd sure like to see summer come back. So for Thursday, that system is still wound up, but now it weakens a little bit to 993, but the warm air out ahead of it is out of the Gulf of Alaska. Plenty of precipitation associated with that system moving onshore to southeast Alaska, as well as a weak trough that's across the central portion of the state and giving a little bit of rain there. And then that cold front that was on the north slope has now moved over into the Northwest Territories. And that there is, again, a little bit of frozen precipitation at our higher elevations in south central and the Wrangell-St. Elias Mountains as well. And then for Friday, that system is still really wound up, but it's weakening to 998 millibars. I put a thunderstorm system down there. There should be, or there's at least the possibility of some oceanic lightning with that system because of the cold air aloft over that system. In the meantime, the warm air is moving up toward the panhandle, and that's our rainmaker for southeast Alaska. Still some frozen precipitation over the higher elevations in south central and the Wrangell-St. Elias. And then note a little area of actual clearing that's up toward the Brooks Range or so, with a little bit of downslope there and a whole lot less clouds. So looking at our low temperatures for Thursday morning, well into the 30s for the northern sections of the state, and then ramps up to the 40s as we get into the central interior and down toward the southwest. In the meantime, for the Panhandle, looking like temperatures at least into the 50s, and also a few readings in the upper 40s and lower 50s for South Central. And then basically the cooler air out over the Bering Sea, again, most of the temperatures there for the lows in the 40s. And then for Thursday afternoon, high temperatures in the 60s for the central regions. But notice that the north slope is only reaching about 40 degrees or so, and Utiagavik looking like about 38. In the meantime, as you get further south, there's a few readings into the 50s or so, and especially for the Panhandle as well, 62 for Skagway with a little, maybe a few breaks in the clouds there. And then going out the Alaska Peninsula, temperatures generally in the 50s. And then for Friday morning, again, cool temperatures across the north slope down to the Brooks Range. Might even see in the Brooks Range temperatures in the upper 20s. And then as we get into the central interior, temperatures generally in the 40s or so. And southeast, temperatures in the 50s. And then we might see a reading or two in the 50s, but generally in the 40s for South Central as well. And then hovering right around 50 or so for the Alaska Peninsula, for the southwest, temperatures in the upper 40s. And then for Friday afternoon, again, pretty cool temperatures up there on the north slope with temperatures in the 40s. But as you get into the central interior, you're seeing a few readings into the 60s, but a lot of readings still in the 50s. Also the same thing for South Central, and as well as the Panhandle, and then temperatures tapering off into the lower 50s as you go out the Alaska Peninsula. So for our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, there's a pretty good probability that it's going to be above normal for the southeastern part of the mainland and also the northern part of southeast Alaska as well, with a little bit of probability that it's going to be cooler than normal temperature in the southwest and also going out the Alaska Peninsula. And then something we're also keeping an eye on for our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, particularly from the 5th to the 7th, that there is a setup for some, again, I mean, it's really iffy, and we know it's a long-range forecast, but some potentially heavy precipitation for southeast Alaska. So we're keeping an eye on that, and we're going to be looking at that. We have plenty of time to revise that forecast, but I would say that the probability is higher than 50-50 that we're going to get a heavy rain event in southeast. So that's it for your public weather, and please stay safe out there.